Call to the booth. It's wild card weekend, so you know we got to talk Sunday games in AFC North. And also, fantasy football is over, but we going to help you pick up some money on DFS. So, Paul, drop that shit. Call to the booth. Wild card weekend. Better get your adult drinks ready. Your wing dings. Spicy chips. Everybody eats spicy. I call wing dings like, the drumlets. You know what I'm saying? The little drumlets. Your hot chips, man. Hey, get ready, man. We got some great games going on Saturday, Sunday, man. I can remember it like it was yesterday. My first playoff game. I was a nervous wreck. Harrison. I remember like it was yesterday, man. I went to the stadium early. I studied my players again. And I once the game started, I calmed down a little bit, And I had a pretty good game, man. I had a pretty good first playoff game, man. So, I think it was against the Houston Texans. I had Andre Johnson was my matchup. I had to follow around Andre Johnson, so it was a pretty heavy assignment for my first playoff game, man. But I think I gave him probably like 75, 80 yards, no tubs. All in all, it was a good day, baby. Playoff time, baby. What's up, Harrison?
Everything is great. I'm excited for this weekend. It's going to be a little odd.
No fans
this weekend because it's going to be the first. No fans. I've kind of gotten
we kind of over that point now, right?
It is what it is at this point. But what's going to be different is no red zone.
Yeah.
No jumping from game to game to game to game. But it does allow you to lock in. And the one thing that we know for sure, we are going to see very good, if not great teams playing. And I say that because by the end of the show, we're going to do our DFS. And I can't lie to you, it's a lot harder when you don't have the Jets, when you don't have the Jaguars, or you don't have these teams to pick on. Making a lineup, it's very, very difficult. But before we get to our playoff DFS, as we did with Chris in our earlier show this week, we're going to break down now the Sunday games that are happening. We'll start from the first to the last. We all know the situation with the Browns, with them not being with Kevin Stefanski, so we'll discuss that as our last game. But we'll start with the game that starts off Sunday. The Ravens, -3.5 at the Titans. Over under 52.5. We saw this game earlier this year. Derrick Henry ran all over them. We've seen Lamar Jackson at the same time really take an uptick ever since his COVID-19 positive diagnosis. Ever since he's come back, he's really ticked up. Granted, the schedule has been easier. Nonetheless, he has been playing well. Mike Vrabel's unit versus Jim Harbaugh's unit. How do you think this one pans out by the end?
Ooh, now they get tough. Harrison. And like you said, ain't no more Jets, ain't no more Cowboys secondary. It's over with, man. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, this started off. Damn, this the first game, Harrison. Shit.
Yeah, this might be my favorite game of the week.
This how we starting off our football week. This how we starting off the football week, right? Ravens and Titans, man. It's tough. That's a super hard game, man. And if I was going off last time, I'd definitely pick the Titans. But I go off like football, so I look at football like, all right, this team they socked them in their face first. That team always want to come back and sock them. Now they kind of the aggressor this time because y'all beat us last time. So, and I think the Ravens is out for blood, man. So I'm gonna take the Ravens minus, what is it, 3.5?
-3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens minus that 3.5, man. I like them to get out early, get up to a little lead, and then Tennessee to start doing their thing. They don't go away from their offense. They run their show. They gonna keep giving the ball to Derrick Henry. And I like them to just kind of almost run out of time. I like them to make it close, but kind of run out of time and maybe lose by 4. Maybe lose by 4 or 5 points. Something close with a late push by Tennessee. But I think it's going to be a little bit too late, man. So I'm going to ride with the Ravens. I'm going to ride with that defense and Lamar. And take them minus 3.5.
As much praise that Lamar Jackson got last year and as he's been starting to get at the end of this year, it's a big moment for him this upcoming Sunday because he's lost his last 2 playoff games, back-to-back losses in their first game in the playoffs. What does he need to do differently from those performances that have led to his shortcomings in the playoffs?
I have to go back and really, check out them games. I remember them, but I don't remember them perfectly. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here and act like I remember them games perfectly. But to get this win, man, Lamar got to be Lamar, man. And when we think about Lamar, we think about the new age Michael Vick, you know what I'm saying, running that rock. So I think he got to use his legs. Use your legs to create everything else, man. Dictate your defense with your legs like you've been doing. So don't be shy to use your legs. Sometimes Lamar come out and act like he don't want to run. He want to sit in the pocket. Fuck all that, Lamar. Run for 200 like Derrick Henry on today, and make them play man coverage, and then or make them play some type of zone coverage, and then you could pick your poison. You can start hitting them seam routes and stuff like that, man. But I think he got to be vintage Lamar. Run every fucking chance you get, and make them adjust to it.
All right, that is a hell of a summary there. I'm with it. Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens on the back end if they do lose, because we've seen the tide turn against him especially after this most recent playoff loss. Let's go ahead to New Orleans, and when we broke down the Saints' playoff superlatives, one of the things that we said that's going to work to that they won't be able to take advantage of more than maybe any other team, because even the Bills are having fans. The Saints won't have any fans, and we know what that does for that team. We also don't know really what's going to happen with Michael Thomas as well, and they just went through this past week having issues at the running back position with the whole running back room being out, and we don't know what type of Alvin Kamara might come back, because we've seen guys complain about COVID-19, or rather yet address their concerns with COVID-19. Myles Garrett is one of those players who said he's need to use the oxygen mask more than he used to after being diagnosed with COVID-19. So we don't really know how it's going to play out with him. It's a big unknown. With that being said, let's look at the line. The Bears, I'm sure Danny Trevathan owes you a shout out, are 9.5 at the Saints. It's a 47.5 over under. Mitch Trubisky in the playoffs for the Bears. David Montgomery went down for a brief moment there on Sunday against the Packers, but he managed to survive. Will they survive and make it to the next round potentially?
Man, shout out to them Bears, man, for that month of December they put together, man. That take heart, you know what I'm saying? That take a lot of heart to go on a run like that and get in that tournament, man. So shout out to them boys. I didn't know if they was gonna make it. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I really thought they wasn't gonna make it, just because I thought the Cardinals was gonna win that game against the Rams, but it ain't happened that way. So shout out to them boys for making the playoffs, man. But I think it might come to an end on Saturday, because the Saints is one of them teams, man. They just rolling. Seems like when they lose players, it make them stronger, man. They lose their quarterback, they go undefeated, and they look super strong. So their defense get the balling. That's what people ain't talking about. Their defense is one of their strong points of that whole team, man. So I'm gonna go with the Saints, but that 10 points is kind of high. So I might go with I'm gonna go with the Bears to cover. Lose by 7, lose by 4 or 5 or something like that. I like them to play some ball, run the ball, like you said, and manage that clock. But I like the Saints to win the game, but I like the Bears to cover.
Yeah, it's not going to be a favorable position if you just look at the matchups, as we've been looking at all year, with Marshawn Lattimore, particularly probably shadow covering Allen Robinson, which would mean Mitch Trubisky would have to look at other guys like Darnell Mooney or Jimmy Graham. I forget Cole Kmet, as the other tight end. These guys are not necessarily the guys that you would want to target, but it looks like Allen Robinson could get that shadow coverage. So, Allen Robinson could surprise everybody, and if he does that, it could go well. They actually played this year. Paul pointed this out. This year he had 6 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. I think here the prop bet actually is 75.5 yards for Allen Robinson. What do you got?
It'll be around, I think it'll be the same, 75 to 85 yards. Marshawn not going to give up too many big plays. And
so you're over-under on that,
on
75.5.
Yeah. It's playoff time, man, so he's going to have a bunch of targets. I'm going to go over. He'll go over. It'll be 89 or something like that. He'll have 91 yards, 89 yards. It'll be a little bit over that, not too much over that. But he don't get in the zone, they going to have a great game plan for him. Somebody else going to have to score touchdowns this week, man. Jimmy Graham going to have to definitely get active. But Allen Robinson going to have their best DB on him, and he going to have a little help over there. So no touchdowns for him, but definitely over the 75.
Alvin Kamara, coming off of COVID, if he does play, here's a prop bet for you. Combined yards, receiving and rushing, 129.5. Over under.
Over 129.5. Playoff time. Kamara. This when all the old screen plays and swing plays from the beginning, the Reggie Bush screens that Drew Brees love to do. All that stuff is gonna come back into play, man. And then it's kind of a blessing in disguise. Drew was gone because they didn't use Kamara in the same way. So them 7 weeks of film was like minimum Kamara, you know what I'm saying, as far as the pass game. But a lot of that stuff is going to come back to life. If they get close in the red zone, you know he going to get the totes. But I say definitely over 130, man. He going to have over 130. It's going to be a huge Kamara week, especially with no Mike Thomas. Mike Thomas, even if he play, I'm telling you, that high ankle sprain is a motherfucker. So he still won't be the Mike Thomas of last year, man. So the game plan is going to be super Alvin Kamara this week.
I missed over the projections or the prop bets for the first game. I already assume that you think Lamar Jackson's going to have over 234 yards passing and rushing combined, for sure.
Over 230.
The interesting one, Derrick Henry, 115.5 rush yards versus the Ravens. Over under.
Over. I think the Ravens will hop out. The Ravens going to hop out, get a little lead. And, you know, that's going to kind of make them start playing kind of their softer defenses, and Derrick Henry going to run it up. And that's going to be part of their comeback, is giving it to Derrick Henry. And he going to run it up a little bit. So I say over to 115.
Unfortunate situation for the Cleveland Browns fans, and as we alluded to, Kevin Stefanski not coaching for the team as he has been diagnosed with COVID-19. The Browns are worth plus 3.5 before that diagnosis. Since then, it's jumped to plus 6. They're at the Steelers. Over under is 46.5. How you see it playing out?
This a tricky game, man, for real. Because you want to pick Pittsburgh. I want to pick Pittsburgh, man. And, you know, just because they whooped their ass at the beginning of the year. They sat they OGs and they captains. They still fought with them hard. But I don't know. Something telling me Cleveland finna just do something. Something telling me Cleveland gonna come out and have one of them real tote games. They gonna have a nice tote game. So I'm gonna take Cleveland plus the 6, man. I'm gonna ride with Cleveland plus that 6. If Pittsburgh win, it's gonna be a late second field goal to win the game. They're gonna win by 1 point or 2 points. But I'm gonna take Cleveland plus that 6. They gonna cover.
Nick Chubb over under 79.5 rushing yards.
Over. Nick Chubb finna have a day. He gonna break more tackles than we ever seen him break.
Baker Mayfield over under 219.5 passing yards.
Passing yards 219. I'm gonna go. Ooh, this is tough. It's gonna be right around. I'm gonna go under. It's gonna be like 200, right around 190 something, 200. But it's gonna be a heavy Chubb day, man. So heavy Chubb, heavy Hunt day on the ground. So I'm gonna go under that 219.
Big Ben, last one. Big Ben over under 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Over. Big Ben gonna throw 3 tubs. One of them gonna be to the running back.